So Arsenal received news that they definitely didn't want to hear. It's bad news again. We're now suffering the consequences of another international break. We've had another player injured. So what does this mean for Arsenal going forward? Is it as bad as some people are making it out to be? I want to give you my opinion on it. And of course, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it as well. But there's also some good news because Arsenal are being linked with an £85 million player. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. So we're going to start with the Leandro Trossard injury. Going into this international break, like the last one, like the one before, we're just saying don't get injured. So good with injuries. We was last season, but now this season, it's like we can't catch a break. We've had Odegaard. Now we've got Trossard. We've had Saka and Rice miss the international breaks. I guess now the main thing we have to hope for is that these guys are actually not injured. Like, the fact we've not got Trossard now as well. Like, our team is kind of looking thin at the minute. Even the most optimistic and positive Arsenal fan will tell you, look, this Arsenal team's probably very thin at the moment. We don't have the level of personnel that a lot of us would like. We like the players we've got, but we could definitely do with 2 or 3 top quality players to add to this squad, just to add that depth. So you're not going into an international break thinking and hoping, like, please, just don't get injured. And that's what we was thinking going into this one. And Leandro Trossard pulled off after 37 minutes in Belgium's game against Israel. And you're just thinking, what is going on? Why are we having so many injuries? Like, honestly, what's your guys' thoughts on it? Is it just the fact that these players are being asked to play such a massive amount of football? Like, they're playing, what, 60 odd games? Like, it's a lot of football for these players to be playing. And it's just, how will this affect the Arsenal team? And that is the $1 million question. What are your guys' thoughts on it? What does this do to the Arsenal team? Is it just that we're now understanding how weak this Arsenal squad is? Not in terms of personnel, but just in terms of them numbers. Like, we don't have enough good players. Like I said, with Rice and Saka, I was hoping that it was kind of a bit of clever play by Mikel Arteta and him just saying, listen, guys, we got a strong load of games coming up now, a period where we can probably expect to pick up a lot of points. So, you know, come off during the game towards the end, and then we can not send you on the international break, and then we can kind of, you know, go into the next portion of the season and try and gain some momentum, because that's definitely what we need. The international break at times can come at the wrong time. Like, there would have been parts at last season where we're on a roll and you're thinking you don't want the international break to come because you don't want to lose that momentum. And how that can be a bad thing, it can also, at this moment in time, be a good thing for Arsenal. Because we're going through, or we was going through, a period where there's a lot of question marks around Arsenal. A lot of people saying, are they the team of last season or the season before? Have they fell off? Have they got too many injuries? Have they got enough quality in that squad to continually press this Man City team for the title, to challenge in all of these competitions? And I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. I think we're definitely short. And like I said, we just have to hope that now Odegaard even is back up to full fitness. Like, we need a 100% Odegaard, and I think that the signs are definitely there with Odegaard. I think we definitely saw in that game against Chelsea just how much we missed Odegaard. And after him having another couple of weeks off, being around the training ground, working on tactics, I'm sure, watching looking at data and watching video with Mikel Arteta and the team, I think it's good that we've had a good number of players like Saka, like Rice, like Odegaard, like others, Gabriel Jesus, to just be at the training ground working on things, because this is a massive period of the season. Like I said a few videos ago, like, these next 9 games will determine Arsenal's season. Like, it's a portion of games that you're looking at and saying we should be able to pick up a lot of points here. So this will dictate a lot of our season. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Leandro Trossard being injured. Is this a massive dent for Arsenal going into these portion of games? What does it mean? Does it just show Arsenal's lack of depth, essentially? Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. So the next bit of news I wanted to talk about is this Mohammed Kudus to Arsenal for £85 million. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, because I think the opinion out there is this is a really, really good player. And I think he can be a very good player. Like, you watch him sometimes and you think you've got so many attributes that I think are very, like, I do think he's a good player. Is he £85 million worth of player? Like, I know, like, us fans at times, we make a lot of the price tag, and a lot of people will say, well, you're not paying the money, so what difference does it make? But just because it's not our money doesn't mean we're not allowed an opinion on it. Like, this is still Arsenal. This is still Arsenal spending that money. So although we can't control it, we can definitely still have an opinion on what we think. Is it a good buy? Is it not a good buy? I would say this. I wouldn't mind Kudus at Arsenal, but I don't think it's that transformative signing to really kick on to that next level. Like, for instance, if you're looking at a Kudus or a Nico Williams, like, in my opinion, like, there's only one clear winner in that, and it would be Nico Williams. Again, Mohammed Kudus could be a fantastic player. If he come to Arsenal, of course I would wish him well. If Mikel Arteta decides this is the guy, then of course we go with that, and he obviously sees something that he likes in Mohammed Kudus. But for £85 million, I think that's a massive outlay. I think you're shopping in a bracket that could allow you to bring in a high level or a high caliber player. That's toward the top end of the market. I know that the prices have gone crazy, and that's probably what you pay now for a very good player. Like, it wasn't too long ago we were spending 75 on Nicolas Pepe, and that was kind of like way, way beyond what we had ever done. But now that's kind of what you're expected to play for a 24-year-old player from West Ham. But if I'm looking at the player, like I said, last season he was very, very good. 18 goals, 7 assists. You could probably say, well, that's just one good season. And if people want to push forward that argument, I'm happy to listen to it, because this season he hasn't been as prolific. Like I said, I still see parts of his game where, for a winger who's good at dribbling with the ball, like, his close control is very good, very technical, can get out of tight spaces, which is an attribute that we already have in this team with likes of Odegaard, Trossard, Gabriel Jesus. So that's not really a quality we're lacking in this team. It's something that we have almost an abundance of in this team. So he's not bringing anything new. And in terms of his output this season, 10 games, 2 goals and 1 assist. I wouldn't exactly call that tearing it up personally. Like I said, if this is the player, then this is the player. But I can think of different players if you're shopping in that kind of bracket. Like, now they're different positions, of course. But like Gyökeres, I'm looking at and saying, like, he probably won't cost too much difference to that. Like, I don't know the cost of Gyökeres. He's doing very, very well again this season. I don't know when his contract runs out. As we get nearer to the transfer market and I start hearing things and I start looking into it further. But I just think for that price, I'm looking at a player like a Gyökeres, possibly like a Vlahovic. Now, of course, this is a winger. So, but I thought predominantly Kudus is more of a right winger. Now, some of you might tell me different and say, no, he does have the ability to play left wing. But if his best position is on the right, like, he's not going to get in ahead of Bukayo Saka. So you're strengthening a position which is already probably our strongest position. So to me, like I said, initially looking at the Kudus deal, the number, the position, it doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't mean it won't be the right decision. That doesn't mean the decision won't still be made. But to me, I would look for a more specialised left winger like a Nico Williams. Or if not, go and get that Victor Gyökeres, that Vlahovic, potentially Osman. I don't know what's happening with that deal. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts on it. But of course, as always, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. What's your thoughts on Mohammed Kudus? Is this the kind of player you would go for? Do you like the price? Or for that budget, do you think we could be looking at a different option? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could just very quickly do me a favour. These videos are absolutely free to you guys. All I ask is you give me a quick like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.